Okay, so it's time to talk about how to create a strengths-based business. So what we're going to do in this video here is we're going to talk about the problems that are plaguing the business right now. We're going to talk about making the decision to just be you and to know how. And of course, how to use your strengths to make sure your business is authentic and more energizing. So I'm going to give you some great information here on why and so on. And then I'm going to give you a tool at the end here that I believe will be the most impactful immediately out the gate with you applying your business and your strengths to that business. All right, let's go. So first, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Eddie Villa. I'm a father to 7. I have 6 girls and a boy. I'm also married to a very powerful influencer for the last 19 years. I'm an entrepreneur since 2011. I'm a Gallup certified strengths coach, as well as a 6-figure earner in network marketing and also a 6-figure earner in coaching, which means that I've got 2 businesses that generate a 6-figure income separately. And the reason I love this so much is because all of them follow under one umbrella. I am obsessed with helping people get what they want. So what happened to me was in 2018, I was introduced to strengths because I was personally drained by my business because it was ultimately about pushing and pulling people. We had just hit Blue Diamond. And the truth is I had overcome a whole lot of self-doubt and fear myself. So I kind of felt very good about my ability to help other people who doubted and feared themselves. But ultimately, it ended up being me pushing and pulling, and it was really draining for me because I had already done that for myself, and I didn't want my business to be about that anymore. And so I wanted to know how to inspire other people to be their best self without me having to anything, right? Having to push, having to pull, having to know everything, having to have all the ideas and all the strategies, having to always be there all the time, to always hold people's hands. These are the things that drained me. So I became hooked on the idea when I got introduced to strengths, that strengths could help everyone do things fully authentically. And if they can do things authentically, then I wouldn't have to demand or drain or ultimately push and pull. People would push and pull themselves, that they would be inspired to just be who they are. And so I went on this mission to understand strengths, so much so that I coached thousands of people for a year for free. Like I stopped charging for my coaching because I needed to understand strengths. I really needed to understand that. And that's honestly due to our success with network marketing, that it gave me the time and the freedom to be able to create that and do that for people. But during that time of coaching thousands of people, I learned some things about strengths that Gallup wasn't talking about. Gallup is the company who produced the strengths assessment. I learned some things that were helping people move forward, and Gallup wasn't talking about it. So I had to talk about it, so much so that I wrote a book called Unleash Your Strengths. This is the beginning of all things. You get my book, and you ultimately start using and understanding your strengths more efficiently. But I wrote this book and I sent it to Gallup and I said, hey, right, can I produce this, with your permission? And they went through it and saw that there's no intellectual property of theirs in my book. It's all me. But ultimately they said, you got to put this little paragraph in your book that says Gallup wants nothing to do with it. This is not Gallup supported. This is not our thing. This is all Eddie, right? And so ultimately, even though Gallup rejected it, despite my evidence that it was working, I kept going. And I finally learned how to teach the principles of what it takes to be successful with both an online and network marketing business, but also to teach it in a way that would help other people do it with their strengths. That's the magic. And I'll talk a little bit later about, doing what's required and using your strengths. But what this did for me was huge. By 2022, this Unleash Your Strengths movement began, and I built a community with over 1,300 members. That means people love this. They're using it. It's making a difference in their lives. My book was translated into Spanish, Dutch, and more. I hear from people on a daily basis about how strengths is making a difference in their lives because of the results they're seeing. I started helping numerous leaders rank advance in their business, manage marriages, parenting, self-confidence. All these things were shifting. Even healing people from years of trauma, turning people into strengths experts who help their teams and families grow faster. So much more. My friends, it helped me understand my why, my purpose. I started this because I needed to know my value. I needed to know with absolute certainty that there is a way to be who I am and always make it helpful and uplifting to others, to prove to myself that I can generate an unlimited amount of income, powerful relationships with the people that love me for me, live a long and healthy life, and build an unshakable belief in my abilities. See, I started this because I know what it's like to not know those things. I've been changed forever by this message and this movement and this community. My mission is to help the world know what this feels like. Our why is that we believe anyone with a true desire to build an online or network marketing business can be successful without ever having to copy or duplicate anyone else's way. We do that by matching proven, fundamental principles, successful principles, with our and your infinitely unique strengths, used efficiently to create authentic strengths. That means doing what's required and doing it your way so you can have joy and results. And we provide the tools, the education, the community of people dedicated to helping you do everything your way. So what's your why? Right? And I know as you're asking this, you're hearing me ask this question. One of the most common responses I get from people is, I don't know. Mostly because people don't even know what a why is. Mostly because people think that they have to know what their why is before they go out and do. And I learned that the best way to understand your why is to go do, and to do authentically. This is what Strengths does. It helps us understand how to do things our way so that we can understand our why. Here's my why again. Take a screenshot of this if you need, to help you kind of understand a little bit more about how to formulate your own through the actions of the things you've already done. So the truth is, the problems that are plaguing our business right now is that too many people are not seeing enough return on their efforts. They're feeling discouraged by their business. The stress that they go through has not been worth the effort, right? The effort to go, the stress that comes with business is not worth the effort that it takes to build it. People quitting and not honoring their promises to build, right? Leaders that are not inspired. Most leaders right now are feeling, like it's time for their team to do the work and they're tired, Momentum starts or stops as fast as it starts. No self-confidence, all learning and no applying. There's a lot of that going on right now. And pushing for the wrong reasons and then quitting after achieving the goal. Like we did, we pushed really hard and we pushed for the wrong reasons. And ultimately we became tired and drained. The truth is, I believe that our business should constantly inspire us no matter how many ranks we achieve. And the common solution that people are going to right now is asking for a system, as if a system is going to save them. So the common solution of, I just need a system, I'm going to talk about why that's not going to work, why that's never worked, really. No one's really actually followed a system. And so if we keep thinking we need a system, we're missing out on the big and most important thing. The reason why systems and programs, the problem with those things is the people that teach the systems and the programs, they spend the majority of their time teaching everyone what to do and not nearly enough time helping people know how they can do it by just being who they are. They focus on selling you the value of their strategy instead of the value of who you already are and why you are doing this business in the first place. Our way of doing this business is directly connected to why we do what we do. And when we're not doing it our way, there is a disconnect from why we are doing it. Let me repeat that one more time. When we are not doing it our way, there is a disconnect from why we are doing it to begin with. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. This also means we don't buy what we do. We buy why we do it. And when we don't buy why we do it, we don't do it. But what does this all mean? When we spend the majority of our time just telling others what to do, we're ignoring the very thing that drives them. We end up losing good people. We disconnect with what inspired them to join us. We hold back people who want to go faster than us. And our business becomes uninspiring. The goal is not for people to move your way. The goal is for people to move, period. Your business must always be moving. And when it's being done in a way that energizes you, you don't want breaks. So the solution? Apply your strengths to every part of your business so you are always connected to your why. Help your team stay focused on their strengths to help them stay connected to their why. Create a strengths-based culture that attracts new builders who have their own unique why, to let them know right at the gate that we're never going to tell them exactly what to do, but we're going to tell them how they can do it all their way. We'll let them know here's the different options, but we want you to do it your way with your strengths in a way that honors your why. And we do this together. Now, how do I use my strengths? I spent years doing the business, doing the way we were told. I ended up being tired and drained all the time. Weird, right? And I had to know how to do this in a way that was energizing to me. So that's when I got introduced to strengths, and I knew nothing about strengths when I first got introduced, but I needed to know how to apply it fast. I want you to think about that. How many of you all right now are in that situation where you don't really know anything about strengths, but you definitely feel this need to understand the most important stuff as fast as possible, right? Cut through all the fat. So the way I did it is a lot longer than the way I would ask you to do it. But the way I did it, I just met with people who also wanted to do it. And I learned about strengths from people. I applied what I was learning for myself, and my coaching and our network marketing business started to grow more energetically. I saw others grow without me having to tell them what to do all the time. And I realized I've been holding myself back, and I've even been holding other people back. So the business started to become a little bit more fun for me. And I became obsessed with teaching this. So here's how I do it. I make a decision about what I want. Okay, I want you to make a decision about what you truly want. And I want you to keep it simple, right? What do I want? I want to rank advance, or I want to make X amount of dollars, or I want to find X amount of people, or I want to make an impact on X amount of people's lives, and so on. Just try to keep it simple for now. Of course, there's more to it, but just keep it simple. And then what I want you to do is start with why that matters to you right now, not the big picture why, right? Just why does that start? Like, why does that matter to you right now? And then you bring in your domains, which is the relationship building, the executing, influencing, and strategic thinking strengths in your top 10. So for example, if you look at these top 10 here, these top 10 not only represent what I care about, but it also shows how I like to do things. And when I partner up what I care about and how I like to do things, I end up having a business that's authentic. So what I learned is how to take these top 10 strengths and simplify it, right? So first I've got 4 influencing, right? Anything of 3 or more, I got 4 influencing and 3 strategic thinking. And so that means that I love to move people forward and think, create, and or learn. So everything I do gets to honor this first, and then I do everything else, right? So ultimately, this is where I began. Like, all right, before I decide to do my business today, I'm going to think about moving people forward and thinking and creating and learning. Now for you, you've got different strengths with different combinations, and I'll share with you a tool that'll help you manage and understand yours. Let me just give you the principle. So when I think about what does it mean to move people forward, I think about groups of people. That means for me, I want to gather groups of people who have a similar issue or a similar problem or a similar goal. And let's talk about what's getting in their way. And let's go do something to ultimately shift it and change it, inspired. And then with Think, Create, and Learn, I also want to share with them knowledge and information. Like today, I went into the corporate offices of this network marketing company that I happen to partner with, is best company in the world as far as I'm concerned. And while I was there, I was asking them where they are and where do they want to go. And because I'm helping the corporate office work with our wellness advocates on the field. And so I just keep asking them, what do they want? Where do they want to go? Why does it matter to them? And I start sharing knowledge with them to help them move forward. That's energizing and exciting for me. So as long as I'm always doing things with that intention first, no matter what it is, I'm excited and I don't hesitate so much. So there's a confidence formula that I've created where if you do everything this way, you will build confidence guaranteed. So basically what you do is you take your infinitely unique strengths and you understand them. And then you add in strengths action items. These are action items that show up as you're really understanding your strengths report. I'll show you how to get information, how to understand those things. But basically, you take your dominant, your strengths, right? Your infinitely unique strengths that energize you, and put together action items that are required to be successful in what you do. And that equals what I call small authentic wins. You do little things your way, you get little authentic wins. Lots of those small authentic wins add up, and that equals certainty. And certainty is created through the proof that you see in the results that you create with your authentic strengths. Certainty that you are all you ever have to be. And for me, I have done the work. I can tell you right now how any of my top 10 strengths brings value to people. I've done the work to understand this. And this is what I want to teach other people, how to do this. Because when you know and you have proof that who you are is enough, there is no greater experience or feeling that I've ever had in my life than this. Feeling this is what drives me to do videos and trainings for people all the day, all the time. I'm always creating something new that's going to help people get to this point to where they know they're enough, right? I know I'm enough. And I want you to be able to say it and feel it in your body. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Let me just share with you some examples, okay? This is Florence. She hit silver after working with me for about a period of time. I can't remember exactly how long Florence and I've known each other for years. But after a certain period of time of understanding and loving on who she is, she started to get results and she achieved silver. This was at the most recent convention where she got to walk as silver. And she wrote this little blurb about her strengths. And she said, once I became aware of what my strengths are specifically, I began to be appreciative of exactly who I am instead of beating myself up for what I thought wasn't enough. The anxiety that made me doubt everything about how I operate and wasn't like other people, or the anxiety of not having a specific strength in my top 13 even, it went away and it was replaced with calm and confidence, leading to a very organic rank advancement of silver in doTERRA. Here's another one. This is Julie Ramirez. She's incredible. She said, I'm a relationship builder. Bottom line, connecting is what I do. As long as I'm connecting, my team grows and we just do it together. She's gold. And what's beautiful about Julie and Florence is that both of them are achieving ranks in the business that prove they're enough. And they can look you in the eye and say, I am enough and I know why. This is why I'm getting results, because being who I am works. Here's some other great examples. This is Lee Freiling, who's a presidential diamond, very good friend of mine, somebody I care about very deeply. These are her strengths. And when you look at her, how did she get to presidential diamond? 3 influencing, 3 relationship building. She moves people forward and she connects with them, right? Connector. This is a relationship builder influencer. She moves people forward and connects with them. That's her desire. Here's Kristen Van Way, total strategic thinker, wonderful human being, brilliant mind. All strategic thinking, right? Blue Diamond, 6 strategic thinking strengths. She does everything in a way that honors her desire to singularly think and learn and create. She's a mind expander. Marty Christensen is a US founder from way back in the day when the first round of US founders was started. Look at all those executing strengths, right? 5 executing strengths. Marty's job is to build this business in a way that honors her desire to make sure things are done the right way. And then there's, of course, Justin Harrison, who I adore very much. Just a total influencer and relationship builder, right? 5 relationship building, 4 influencing, right? Not a whole lot of executing strengths in there, my friends. In fact, I remember even asking Justin, I'm like, Justin, with strengths like this, how do you hold people accountable? And he literally looked me in the eye and says, I don't hold people accountable. I just connect and I move. And I tell them, move with me. Connect with the right people and move them forward. That's Justin. Justin will never do anything that he feels will violate his desire to connect or inspire people. So my friends, of course you can do this too, because look at all these great examples of different powerful leaders who have strengths just like yours. So what I want to do is I want to give you a tool to help you start your journey or get your journey really kickstarted with loving who you are by getting my book. This is Unleash Your Strengths. The 2nd edition was just printed. It's a powerful book and it's very quick to get to understanding your strengths report faster than any of the things that you have been able to be exposed to, the things I was exposed to when I first got introduced to strengths. So go to unleashyourstrengths.net, get the book now and get started with your journey with loving on who you are and creating results by just being who you are. We'll see you on the next video.